Welcome back, true crime junkies. For 17 years and over 300 heart-stopping episodes, we watched genius profilers hunt down monsters. We felt every agonizing choice, every shed tear, and the echo of every bullet. Yet while cameras stopped rolling, the clock kept ticking. So where did life take them? Who is still crushing it in Hollywood, and did any tragic ends leave the fandom completely devastated? Let's dive into the archives. Legend Mandy Patinkin was 53 years old when he first stepped into the shoes of iconic Jason Gideon. He played a mastermind capable of peeling back the layers of a crime, dissecting the broken psyche of every predator he ever tracked. His mission was to find the motive behind the bloodshed, even after a brutal bombing left his own soul shattered in pieces. Gideon eventually returned to the unit a ghost of his former self, his gaze heavy with the weight of ghosts he couldn't shake. He acted as both a tough-love coach and a guiding light for the rookies, particularly that genius kid doctor we all deeply loved. He saw his younger self in that boy. Every time he faced a murderer, his voice stayed chillingly level, calm, and composed. As his eyes ripped through the suspect's facade, the atmosphere in that interrogation room would turn absolutely suffocating for everyone involved. Fast forward to now, 73-year-old Mandy Patinkin still commands the stage with the effortless grace of a true seasoned industry titan. Post-profiling life treated him well as he pivoted to land massive hits across both the big screen and premium television networks. By picking complex, soul-searching characters, he proved he is a prestige talent who prioritizes raw, emotional storytelling over basic Hollywood fame. He brings authenticity to every role. Meanwhile, the great Joe Mantegna was 60 years old when he officially joined the cast. Playing David Rossi, he embodied a pioneer who helped build the very foundations of the behavioral analysis unit from the start. Rossi was the guy who walked away to pen bestsellers and lecture enjoying the perks of being a world-renowned criminal expert. But an unsolved nightmare pulled him back. For him, every new case was a chance to finally settle a long-standing moral debt. Armed with decades of wisdom and a commanding presence, Rossi never blinked when it came to making the most dangerous calls. He'd go toe-to-toe with psychos just to crack a case, serving as the steady rock when the team began to crumble. He was the glue when hope ran thin. Today, at 78 years old, Joe Mantegna remains an absolute powerhouse in the business. He is universally hailed as one of Tinseltown's most dignified veterans following his decade-long stint on the procedural drama hit. After the show ended, he kept busy with television roles, iconic voiceover work, and a heavy focus on various charitable efforts. His advocacy for military veterans highlights a man who is as committed to his country as he is to his artistic craft. Thomas Gibson was 43 years old when he transformed into Aaron Hotchner, the former prosecutor with a backbone made of solid steel. He transitioned into the unit with a razor-sharp legal brain and a natural ability to dominate any room he entered. Hotch was a statue of ice at every murder scene, masking a raging internal tempest behind a perfectly stoic and unreadable mask. He refused to crack under pressure, knowing full well that if the captain wavered, the whole ship would surely go down. That stoicism was his gift to the team, cementing his status as the unwavering emotional pillar for the entire group. He carried the darkest burdens alone just to keep his people safe. When he finally walked away to protect his family, to choose a safer life for his young son, fans everywhere felt like the heart of the show had been lost. It was a bittersweet departure. Now 64 years old, Thomas Gibson remains a face etched into the memories of global audiences. However, his exit wasn't all sunshine. Major behind-the-scenes drama sent shockwaves through his career and the celebrity tabloids. An explosive on-set altercation sparked massive headlines, stalling his professional engine and creating a truly messy chapter in his career legacy. It was a dark spot on a stellar career. Then there's Shemar Moore, who was 35 years old when he debuted. Playing Derek Morgan, he delivered a masterclass in swagger and raw power, making every fan cheer for his heroic actions. Yet, beneath that muscle were jagged psychological scars. Morgan was a survivor who had battled internal demons since his childhood. Growing up in a world of hurt fueled his relentless drive to shield the innocent from the same monsters he faced. Those early traumas made him the unit's specialist for the most heinous crimes involving kidnapping and horrific sexual violence. He was the first to charge into the fire. The show reached a fever pitch when Derek himself was eventually kidnapped. Beaten and broken, he had to face the very darkness he'd spent a lifetime sprinting away from, leaving viewers absolutely floored. He was down, but never out. Today, at 56 years old, Shemar Moore is still the quintessential action star we love. He still radiates that leading man energy, even though the industry can be a grind as the years slowly pile up. Despite the brutal physical toll of the action genre, he refuses to slow down or let age define his professional limits. He still oozes that magnetic charm and grit, proving that some stars only get brighter with the passing of more time. It's the same magic that made us fall for him years ago, capping off a truly legendary run in the spotlight. Truly admire his incredible legacy. Paget Brewster was only 38 when she stepped into the shoes of the iconic Emily Prentiss. She embodied the sophisticated daughter of a powerful diplomat, a linguist hardened by years of secret undercover assignments. Right from the jump, she had to navigate a minefield of skepticism from her suspicious new colleagues. Her superior was notoriously guarded with his confidence, yet Emily never begged for approval. She proved her worth through action. With a razor-sharp intellect and nerves of steel, she constantly threw herself into the path of extreme danger without hesitation. She even stared down ghosts from her past lethal enemies who had once marked her for a premature, violent grave. Her most heart-stopping moment came when she was forced to stage her own passing to keep the team safe. The staggering plot twist left the entire fandom gasping for air and left an agonizing hole in her friends' lives. Now, at 57 years old, Brewster is still commanding the screen, proving that true talent only gets better with time. Even after navigating messy contract disputes and brief departures from the spotlight, her magnetic pull on audiences never once faded. She remains a certified fan darling, worshipped for her raw honesty, professional edge, and a screen presence that is simply unmatched. Kirsten Vangsness was 33 when she arrived to play Penelope Garcia, introducing us to the unit's secret digital weapon. As a literal computer goddess, she could bypass the most secure firewalls and unmask a killer before they even realized it. But the magic of Garcia wasn't just in her lightning-fast typing. It was her massive, unfiltered heart and human touch. She felt the weight of every tragedy, showing a profound level of empathy for the victims that resonated with everyone watching. It was common to see her shedding tears over a brutal file, only to be the first one screaming with delight. Her electric, flirtatious chemistry with the team's resident tough guy provided the much-needed warmth and humor in a very dark world. She served as the glowing light that prevented the entire team from being swallowed whole by the horrors they investigated daily. Fast forward to today, and 53-year-old Kirsten Vangsness is still celebrated for being the absolute soul of the show. After years of making the technical analyst role legendary, she transitioned into a dual threat by diving headfirst into professional writing. By penning several scripts herself, she proved that her creative genius extends far beyond just delivering lines in front of cameras. This bold evolution has allowed her to carve out a unique professional legacy that is entirely her own creative masterpiece. Ajay Cook was only 27 when she first appeared as Jennifer Jareau, initially serving as the team's polished media liaison. However, as the seasons progressed, JJ refused to stay confined behind a desk or a simple press podium for long. She transformed into a fearless field agent, balancing her natural maternal instincts with a cold, unwavering determination to hunt down monsters. Coming from humble small-town roots, her family was always her North Star, making every goodbye for a mission feel gut-wrenching. The psychological trauma of being snatched and tortured during a Black Ops mission left deep scars that went far beneath the surface. The quiet scenes of her trying to compose herself after work, shielding her children from the darkness, were truly the most moving. These raw human moments are exactly what forged such a deep, unbreakable bond between her and the show's loyal global audience. Now, at 48 years old, Cook continues to be a powerhouse in the industry, maintaining a stellar reputation for excellence. After nearly 20 successful years of making Jennifer Jareau a household name, she has broadened her artistic horizons significantly. She has successfully jumped into various film and television roles, proving her versatility across many different genres and visual formats. While not every project was a global smash, her career is a testament to the power of grit and professional consistency. Matthew Gray Gubler was just 25 when he stepped into the shoes of the socially awkward genius Dr. Spencer Reid. With a mind-bending IQ and a memory that never missed a detail, he could digest a library's worth of data instantly. To the team, Reid functioned like a flawlessly tuned supercomputer solving puzzles that left every other agent completely baffled. Yet, despite his brilliance, he carried a deep emotional sensitivity that made his encounters with pure evil feel incredibly personal. Watching him endure kidnapping, brutal torture, and even a stint behind bars was almost too much for the fans to witness. Seeing him sit in a cold interrogation room, his brilliant mind warring with his shattered emotions, was pure cinematic heartbreak. He wasn't the guy who would win a fistfight, but he became the intellectual heartbeat and the very soul of the unit. Today, the 46-year-old Gubler has fully embraced his status as a creative polymath, focusing heavily on indie cinema and fine art. He has never been one to chase the hollow fame of massive summer blockbusters or generic mainstream Hollywood lead roles. Instead, he has earned a cult-like following for his eccentric artistic vision and his refusal to compromise his unique sense of self. By charting his own course, he has become a rare icon who exists completely outside the typical traditional Hollywood machine. At 49, Jeanne Tripplehorn played Alex Blake, a sophisticated specialist within the unique field of forensic linguistics. She possessed a rare talent for dissecting a killer's speech, scrutinizing every phrase to find flaws in their logic. She joined the squad precisely when old emotional wounds had not yet fully healed or disappeared. Tasked with replacing a fan favorite, that intense pressure weighed heavily upon her every movement and creative choice. The bond between Blake and the young doctor became especially poignant and meaningful for the show. She detected in him the same fragility she once had while he found a steady, patient mentor. Episodes where Blake used her sharp intellect to outmaneuver suspects often reached a state of breathless and intense emotion. Today, 63-year-old Jeanne Tripplehorn remains a highly respected and seasoned veteran within the American cinematic landscape. Long before playing Alex Blake, she had already made her mark in several hit films during the 90s. Working with major stars, she earned critical praise for her incredibly nuanced and emotionally layered cinematic portrayals. Aisha Tyler was 45 when she debuted as Dr. Tara Lewis, joining the squad from research laboratories. She had devoted years to investigating unconventional minds and some of the most terrifying psychological pathologies known. With that background, her view of crime was unique. She did not simply hunt down the suspects. She wanted to decode the mental engines that would cause a person to spiral into such darkness. Tara was frequently the one who asked the piercing questions that left an entire room in silence. These inquiries focused on hidden motives, childhood trauma, and the thin boundary between illness and moral choice. When necessary, she entered the interview room with chilling calm to dismantle a killer's defenses piece by piece. Currently, Aisha Tyler is 56 and remains a remarkably versatile and multi-talented figure in the American industry. Since joining the crime drama, she has expanded her career into the fields of directing and producing. She has built a legacy beyond acting, and despite navigating difficult personal challenges in the public eye, she has maintained a strong independent image and continues to inspire many women within the creative sector through her resilience and versatility. Adam Rodriguez was 41 when he became Luke Alvez, a seasoned operative from a federal fugitive task force. He was a character forged by years of hunting down desperate escaped criminals out in the field. He offered the team sharpened instincts, a keen eye for clues, and a level of relentless persistence. Upon joining, he faced inevitable comparisons and subtle hesitation from colleagues who were still in deep mourning. Yet Luke never tried to replace anyone. He proved his worth through action and a tireless work ethic. He routinely ran toward danger, accepting personal risks while placing the safety of others above his own. There were moments where he stood silently at a crime scene, promising himself that history would not repeat. Now, 51, Adam Rodriguez maintains a very steady and respected presence within the world of crime television. After his tenure with the analysis team, he branched out to appear in various successful film projects. He has also worked behind the cameras to explore his skills in directing and producing. While his projects might not always top the box office, his career remains stable and admired, characterized by deep professionalism and skill. Daniel Henney was 36 when he played Matt Simmons, introducing a character defined by a stoic, disciplined nature. He portrayed a deeply accountable global agent refined by years of demanding and high-stakes international missions. Coming from a unit focused on global crises, Matt was accustomed to operating within diverse foreign cultures. That background offered him a broad and adaptable lens for analyzing the motivations behind complex criminal acts. In the heat of dangerous situations, Simmons always maintained an almost impossible and unshakable composure. Whenever he spoke about his family, his expression softened, revealing a very warm and deeply human side. Today, Daniel Henney is 46 and has successfully built a prestigious career that spans several continents. Even before his role on the crime drama, he had already achieved massive superstar status in South Korea. This fame came through television dramas and films where he quickly became a very prominent presence. He remains one of the few Asian actors with a powerful and lasting position in Hollywood today. At 34, Lola Glaudini officially stepped into the high-stakes, career-defining role of Agent Elle Greenaway. She portrayed a gritty agent deeply molded by her blue blood roots, raised by a father who served as a dedicated and veteran police officer. Her blue-blooded upbringing forged a fierce warrior spirit in her, making her a specialist in the unit's most harrowing and extremely sensitive sexual assault cases. Elle frequently tackled the most disturbing case files head-on, never flinching or pulling back from the absolute darkest parts of her job. She faced cases with a burning intensity, but that internal fire slowly began to consume her very spirit from the inside out. Following a brutal shooting inside her own home, the thin line between being a professional federal protector and a traumatized victim began blurring. The breaking point arrived when she stepped outside the legal lines to confront her violent attacker on her own rogue terms. It was a heart-stopping moment where justice and vengeance collided. Today, Lola Glaudini has reached the age of exactly 54 years old. She continues working in film and television, although she takes on roles less frequently than during her earlier career years. Throughout her long and storied career, she has successfully starred in various popular television series while also committing herself to many artistic independent film projects. She earned deep respect for her nuanced acting and the psychological complexity she brings to every character she portrays on screen. Thank you for watching and for joining us as we looked back at these powerful and emotional television memories together today. If you truly enjoy these reflective cinematic journeys, please support the channel so we can continue exploring the dramatic stories behind the bright Hollywood lights. We look forward to seeing you again for our very next dramatic chapter.